Hey guys, I'm Matt.
And I'm Raymond. Hey man, you think this Weller's gonna be a TKO or just a complete disappointment?
I don't know, but let's get this rolling. Hey guys, welcome back to Stokies and Broskies. So today we are smoking the Cohiba by Weller. It's just got, Jesus, if I could speak today, it has a pretty blue tin. And on the note, it has amazing, just smooth, cool oakiness.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely get some oakiness on the cold draw. We've obviously already lit this and kind of started our way into it. But I have to say, like, I was afraid to try these, to be honest, because, you know, with it being a Weller product or they coincide with Weller, I was afraid it was going to be like confused or kind of super gimmicky.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, just all in all, like the cold draw and the first third is quite impressive.
Yeah, it's a really good cigar. I always try to stay, like I've said in the past, I try to stay away from cigars that come in little tins and all that stuff. Because again, it seems like more of a gimmicky thing to try and keep people to buy them.
Right.
But this one actually, it actually turned out to be a really good cigar so far.
Yeah, for sure. What are we going to drink on today?
All right. Well, since we're doing the Cohiba Weller cigars, figured we'd do a little Weller on the side. You know, so we've got our Weller Special Reserve. This is a 90 proof wheated bourbon.
From what I saw, I think they took out the rye of the mash bill and put the wheat in. So kind of super excited to take a look into this and see what kind of flavors we get on the nose.
It's nice to get another bottle from the Buffalo Trace family.
Absolutely.
They tend to not steer us wrong. So,
oh man, off the nose I'm getting honey, a lot of honey.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let that sit for a second before I dive into
it. Absolutely. So, hey man, what was your favorite part? You know, I'm not gonna try to play this into words because I have no idea. I can't wordsmith it today. So, what do you think about that Tyson fight,
buddy? I was disappointed as hell.
I was hella disappointed.
I don't even know, because there was so much hype about it. There's no way Tyson did that bad.
Look, so there's a lot. So we're a couple days past.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of things coming out about the contract, and I don't want to get into, you know, what could be, what is, what isn't. I just kind of want to basically just look at the fight in itself. And I've got to say that watching all the training videos from both sides, right, from Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, neither one of them acted anything like what they look like in the training videos.
No.
I know it can't be camera shot because neither one of them have been camera shot since they were kids.
Right. So they both started extremely young in the public's eye.
Right.
So it's crazy how that reaction just did not hit. They both, I will say, because I have been hearing a lot, because back in July, Tyson pretty much almost died.
Yeah, he had some medical issues.
Lost half his blood and all that stuff. So I think that might have had a little bit to do with it. But even the more recent videos, like you said, still really showed him really aggressive.
Yep.
So
what was your favorite fight of the card?
For that one?
Yeah, for that one.
The women's fight, dude.
Yeah,
that was insane. That was insane. Bad call. Personally, opinion.
Absolutely.
Terrible call. Considering the other girl had 109 more
landed shots.
Yeah. And the other girl still got a point taken away, and she still only won by 1 point.
Right. Didn't make sense.
Yeah, it didn't make sense at all. So, I don't know. There's going to be another one. I feel like a rematch is coming on that one again.
Yeah, but you know, I'm not sure if it was a trainer, coach, or who it was there when they were talking to the woman that got split open. I don't remember their names,
Yeah.
but I mean, he called homegirl out hard with the headbutting. So
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
yeah, it'd be fun to see. They both had a hell of a fight. They both put their spirit into it. So
Yeah.
it was a good fight. I mean, minus the headbutting, all in all, that was my
Right.
favorite of the main card.
I feel like the fight beforehand was more just a comical thing. When you got a guy just sitting there humping another dude in the corner of the ring.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
Like,
I couldn't believe it.
yeah.
Like I would be so disrespected. That'd be like a personal hit. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't let that fly.
Definitely. Well, I mean, after that one, we did see literally the next day the UFC fight. I think it was 309.
309. Yep. Shout out to Wheezy for hosting both of them.
Yep.
Yep.
What did you think about that one?
As far as the main event,
Yeah,
man, the main event was intense.
it was
What was it? What did you finish with? A roundhouse kick to drop him in the ribs?
a reverse roundhouse.
Yeah, reverse roundhouse. Oh my goodness! Like I felt it. Like to watch that guy wince in pain from taking that hit. He snapped some ribs, and that was intense.
That was a big one.
Yeah.
But what about the women's fight beforehand on that one?
I gotta think about it. I don't think I was impressed with it.
No,
I can't remember.
no.
No.
All right. Well, that's fine.
Oh, you know what? So I wasn't as impressed with the boxing, the women's boxing, as I was at women's MMA. I feel like they tired out really quick, and so there was a lot of floor play, a lot of like grappling, but not a whole lot of movement on the ground once they got there.
Right.
So
you liked the MMA better or the boxing better?
I prefer the women's boxing over the women's MMA.
All right.
In this instance, most of the times, the women's MMA is intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. This time, I feel like they were probably still young in their career. I don't know. I don't follow this stuff, but just watching from
the one girl, you could. Even the announcers during the fight were saying that she probably wasn't ready for that caliber of a fight, especially towards the end of the fight when she was on her back with her legs up, just kind of trying to keep her away.
Yeah, I mean,
it kind of showed a little bit more of that.
There was some good defense there, especially when they were tired and wore out. Like, I mean, you saw a couple trying to make some moves, but there was some good defense. But I feel like it was still young careers trying to work it out. They didn't quite have the endurance to really go that far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I feel like the MMA 309 was more of a success. A lot more interest than I did in the Tyson Paul main card fights.
A lot of cameos there at that fight.
Yeah,
Jelly Roll was there.
Yeah, Jelly Roll,
Kid Rock. A lot of politicians.
Political figures were there. Yep. So that was really cool to see.
Yep.
So, man, I'm kind of itching to get into this drink, this beverage.
Well,
cheers, bud.
That honey note on our nose really transfers over.
Yep.
Really transfers over. But then you got a lot of floral coming off that back end.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
That is really, really great solid flavors with a smooth finish for about a $50 bottle.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of hype about the Weller Special Reserve. I've had it before once in the lounge. I had been already drinking that day, so as a fresh pour, not had anything on the tongue yet, on the palate. This is quite incredible beverage.
Yeah. Out of the Wellers I've had, I'm not gonna say this is the best one. I've had my personal preference when it comes to Weller is the 12 year.
12, okay.
12, yeah. That's around here. You're getting those about $150 for a bottle.
I gotta say, this is my first weeded bourbon as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, I guess what I'm noticing that sweetness is probably coming partially from that wheat.
Yeah.
Because most mash bills have that rye involved, and that's where you get the more spicy notes out of it. But yeah, the honey is a very sweet bourbon here.
This one I feel like when it comes to the palate on this, This is going to be a really good one for people that haven't dove into too many of the bourbons yet.
Right.
It's not going to be as harsh for them.
Well, just sitting here looking at the legs, man, it's got some really good legs on it. So it's got some nice oil quality to it, but it almost goes down like water.
Right.
Like it's that smooth. That it's pretty wild to experience.
Yeah, but like I was saying, like with the quality of this and how easy it goes down.
Yep.
Because a big part of what we're doing here is we want people to not feel like they're going to waste money whenever they're going to buy a bottle. Especially for those newer drinkers that are trying to tap into the whiskey and bourbon scene. You know, sometimes it's intimidating. The flavors just come off too strong.
Absolutely.
And pushes a lot of people away.
Yep.
I feel like this is a good bottle. Probably not a good first bottle, but it'll bring you further into that higher quality bourbons to allow you to taste more of those notes.
Sure.
That it doesn't break the bank, and it's very easy on the palate. And it'll start bringing those newer people further into the higher quality bourbons, and being able to identify some of those flavors.
See, I feel like it's important for new bourbon. What's the word I'm looking for? People who are interested in bourbon, right? Who are just getting started on their journey. I think it's important for them to taste the bad quality, cheap bourbons, to understand and be able to appreciate that quality. Right. You know, when you come off with like a white label Jim Beam, and there's nothing wrong with white label Jim Beam. I had white label Jim Beam on my shelves for years. I always used it as a mixer, and to me, that's what it is. I've got white label Jim Beam tucked back in the back there, because we use it for baking and mixers and whatnot. For me, though, it's a low quality bourbon compared to a Weller, and so to get a start there, you understand and I feel like you can differentiate the quality, the age, the mash bills a little bit better. You know, you get to experience both sides of it.
Yeah. And you know, it's another thing where you can go in with, I feel like Buffalo Trace is a bad distillery to use for this example, but like, because Weller is made by the Buffalo Trace company, you can just get standard Buffalo Trace for like $25 a bottle. Right.
But even still, that's a good bottle.
That's still a good bottle. That's a bottle that I'll daily sip.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a couple bottles of that at home. But going back to like the Jim Beam White Label, you know, that's their lower bottle. You know, it's not something that most people are just going to sip on all the time.
Right.
But then you go, and Jim Beam has a very wide range of things that you can get.
Oh, absolutely.
You can go from the white label
to black label.
The black label. They've got Basil Haven. They've got, I think Knob Creek is even owned by Jim Beam.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Knob Creek, there's a long range of Knob Creeks that.
Knob Creek 9 is 100 proof and I think $35, and that in the bourbon world is a very sought after like daily drinker because it's cheap. It's a higher proof. Yeah, it has solid flavors in there, and so Knob Creek 9 year cheap bottle, 100 proof. Right.
And then you start moving up, and you got your Bookers, your Little Book, and you've got all those. They've really broadened their range to have a product for just about any person, like any level of drinker for bourbons.
One thing with it though that I've heard from these content creators that I look up to, that I've been finding and actually having conversations with, something that they find within the Jim Beam label, under that Jim Beam umbrella, if you will, is that they all kind of have a peanut flavor to them. So if you don't prefer that peanut flavor, you're not going to prefer the Jim Beam labels. And so I've not thought about that. I've not had a Jim Beam brand beverage in a while, but next time I want to think about that to see if that's what I'm picking up. Right. Yeah. Something just interesting to keep in mind.
Yeah. That's definitely.
Well, so in your opinion, with this Weller Special Reserve, is it a TKO or a complete disappointment like the Tyson fight?
I'd say it's a TKO. The combo that we have here with the cigar and the bourbon itself
really matches well.
Really matches well.
Yeah.
And I mean, even individually,
both have great individual flavors.
Yes.
No, I agree. Absolutely.
So.
I was actually thinking about that while you were talking earlier. I just had taken a sip and a draw off the cigar, and I was really blown away with kind of how they match together.
Yeah.
And I'm getting almost to that halfway point of the cigar, and the flavors really haven't overly developed or underly developed. Like that, I'm still getting a solid draw from that first third, and almost about halfway through the second third as well. So I really look forward to finishing the cigar out and see where it goes.
It's burning. Mine's got a little bit of a trail going on it. It's not burning completely evenly.
Yeah,
but it's burning consistent. It's not getting too hot, which that can both go between the consistency of me hitting on it or the draws that I'm taking, but also how well it's rolled, which I feel like Cohiba really does a good job with consistency with their cigars, which has a huge pull in that.
Have you retro held this yet?
No, I've not.
You should, because I feel like the retro hell on this definitely brings out a lot of the more flavor, like the underlying flavors, and it's just incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this. So while you continue talking.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to actually interrupt for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're going to go back to bringing up our infinity bottle. For those of you who have this is your first time joining us, this is our 2024 Stogies and Broskies Infinity Bottle. Every episode, we have tried a different whiskey, bourbon, just whiskeys and bourbons, pretty much. We haven't really ventured too far out.
I don't think we did the scotches yet.
Scotches yet, no. But so every week, we're adding to this infinity bottle. We're just taking a shot out of every bottle that we've tried. We've been kind of selective on the bottles that we've been doing here because, you know, we want to make this a very fine bottle.
Absolutely.
For our first one. But at the end of 2024, beginning of 2025, our first episode is going to be us dipping into this infinity bottle. Getting that mix of all the different flavors from all the different whiskeys and bourbons that we've been trying on these episodes. And we want our first sip of this infinity bottle to be on video with you guys, so our Stogies and Broski family can experience that with us. Speaking of the infinity bottle itself and the Glencairns that you have seen us drinking out of, Matt, why don't you dig into that?
All right, so me and my lovely wife have really kind of been focusing on the merchandise aspect through these last couple weeks, and so we have already sent out, by the time this gets uploaded, 2 full Glencairn sets. And what that consists of is an etched Glencairn set, an etched decanter with our Stogies and Broskies logo. It will also come with 2 Glencairns etched with a more subtle Stogies and Broskies logo. We've got that up for sale. I'm not going to discuss prices here because that's not what this is about. Also, we have it set up so we can just sell the Glencairns by themselves,
as well as the decanter.
For the moment, we do have some other merchandising options coming available very, very soon, I feel. But if you check us out on the new platform that we were talking about, and that will be sblounge.calaxy, that's CALAXY.com. All of our merchandise is listed there at the moment. That is the platform where we are working on building and growing, where we can go live and smoke and drink and have conversations with you. That will be our main focus from here on out. We will still post everything to YouTube, but that is where our focus is driving, since that will more cater to what we're about and the content that we are interested in. So please check us out. Again, that's sblounge.calaxy.com. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, we really appreciate you guys chiming in, joining us on this adventure,
being part of our family,
giving us your feedback, sharing it with your friends and family. We do appreciate everything you guys have done for us, and hopefully you get something from the content that we create.
Like, follow, share, subscribe, comment. Let us know, have you tried Weller? Have you tried the Cohiba Weller cigar? What is your opinion on that? For those of you who have been in the whiskey and bourbon community longer, what is a good middle ground bottle that you feel would be good for somebody who's starting to develop their palate to try and build and push them further into this community? Is there any bottles or cigars you'd like us to try? What's your favorite? Let us know, and we'll try and put it on the show. But
Absolutely.
until then,
Guys, cheers.
Cheers.